Okay.
Here we go.
Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me tonight. We're going to be painting some bluebirds. It should be really fun. Got part of an example done. I did these songbirds this week on Saturday, and we've decided to do an easier version with just these little bluebirds right here, these little guys. So we're going to put hats on them and give them a little Christmas tree to decorate. It should be a lot of fun. So let's get started. We're going to be using acrylic paints tonight. Didn't mention that.
Well,
Mark's not ready.
I turned it
There we go. So this is my reference photo. What?
Used to be on one page.
We're a little discombobulated tonight.
Such a rookie.
I know. Got my husband Mark helping me with the live chat.
Hey, everybody.
He's supposed to be manning the camera too, but we kind of had a little fail there. Sorry.
Yeah, we got too many options now in your OBS.
So I decided to go ahead and just do this example on my notebook since I already dirtied it up the other night. I'm just going to finish working on this one on here, but this is the sketch that I drew up earlier tonight. I think I'm going to, whoop, got it on camera here. I think I'm going to move this little guy up so he's actually on a branch. Originally I had the branch down here, but I think it was too low. So I kind of, for the composition, to have a little bit better flow, I'm going to move him up here, and we're going to put a little Christmas tree in a nest for them to be decorating. I think it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to keep this as simple as possible though. So this is a beginner level project. If you didn't want to do the Christmas tree, you could just do a branch with the little bluebirds on it. So that'd probably be the super simple version. And then to get a little bit more complicated, put the hats and scarves on them. And then the tree and the nest would probably be the most difficult part of it. So how are we doing tonight, honey?
Doing great. I'm all settled in here.
Got a good chat going. I heard Cinnamon Cooney was in the house.
She is.
Art Sherpa. Some of our other regular watchers.
Oh, yeah. We got Kim Sim and Sue Clark, and Ian's here.
Awesome.
And Stephanie Bergeron.
Stephanie and Mark were the first to watch my live shows.
Oh.
They've been here since the very beginning. So, okay. So we'll do the background the same way that we did the other one. I think I'm going to go a little bit lighter though. This was burnt umber and white. So I mixed a little bit of burnt umber with my white here, and I'm just going to do a little bit softer color on my notebook here. And I might need more white here. I might even pick up a little bit of the phthalo blue to make it a little bit more of a gray brown. That'll be pretty. That'll be kind of our bluebird color though, so I don't want to go too bright with it because they're going to be this color. The brown will help kind of neutralize it a little bit. And I might open this up so I don't get it on my, oops, okay, so here's a sneak peek of New Year's. I just recorded that today.
Shh,
don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
Try not to get paint on it. That's a good preview. We had to record it because we won't be able to be doing live on New Year's, but I think we should do live our regular schedule the rest of the way through the holidays. So we'll do a really easy project on Christmas Eve because I know most people are probably going to be doing stuff with their families that night, but we'll be doing a super simple light blue background, like a light aqua blue with a white tree and some little cardinals in the tree. So it should be fun. It'll be super basic, hopefully 30-minute to an hour if at the most. So Mark doesn't believe me.
Yep. No, I believe you 100% there.
I always say that if you're new to my channel, we have this, I don't know, what should I say to them? We're we're a little odd.
Yes, we are.
But we're all about making painting fun and enjoyable process. I know it can be frustrating if you are trying to learn on your own, but we really feel like, or I really feel like Mark's, you know, behind me, but he really doesn't actually paint.
No, not at all. No.
I feel like painting is a skill that with practice and a little bit of know-how, anybody can paint. So I try to give you the tools to make it easy for you and give you some projects that are totally achievable. I've got lots of folks that share their paintings with me and say that they hadn't painted in years and that they just got back into doing it after watching the videos and tried it, and that's what we're hoping. So if you've never painted because you didn't think you could, well, we've got plenty of projects.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people who post their first time after your tutorials, and they look incredible. So
yeah, so that's the hope, at least. All right, so if you can notice, I kind of just did a little bit streaky. I think that that'll be a good base. So we'll do the darker browns and the darker blues on top. We'll let Mark take this and do his blow drying skills with it. He didn't know he was going to be worked tonight. So I found these actually came from online. I'll put the links up, but they were royalty-free photos that I found from one of the national park rangers took them. So but that was good. And while we are waiting for Mark to do his blow drying, we will get out our mascot here. This is Stickman 2.0. He gets an edition every show, so we'll put a little bluebird on him since we're doing bluebirds tonight. We always put something that kind of correlates with what we're painting. So we'll get him a little bluebird. Whoop, boy, he's got a big tail there. Sorry, we're gonna have to make him bigger. My brush doesn't wanna. A little white belly. Get my little. Oh, actually, they have black beaks. What am I doing? Give them a little black beak. There we go. Good. Alrighty. This was my original idea for the birds, but then when I thought about it, I thought the Christmas tree might be a little bit more fun. So you could totally just do different birds all snuggled up on one branch, though, and that would be a super simple version. But since Mark's not working today, he's on vacation, so I'm going to monopolize this time and
make me work.
Make him work.
That's
on
right.
his vacation.
Yeah, everybody loves Stickman there, so.
That is Mark's creation. He did a tutorial on how to create Stickman.
So one day everybody will figure out that we only blow dry just so that you can do Stickman.
That's right.
No, there's no real reason to do it.
There is. I can't paint on wet.
I just turn on the blow dryer and make the noise in the background.
Not true.
No? Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna. You're distracting. If I split this in thirds, I'm going to do one branch kind of coming up and splitting. We're going to put the bird, our one bird right here. And then this one is going to go up. We'll have two more birds right here and here. And then our Christmas tree can fit right in here somewhere. So we'll do this down this way so that the Christmas tree's got kind of resting in between these two branches there a little bit. I'll even do another split right here. So he's got even more support. for the nest. Okay, so the nest is actually right smack dab in the middle, and then our 3 birds are kind of circling him. We could move it a little bit over if we wanted to, but I think it'll be all right there. I might move it just slightly to this side, just to give it a little bit more room. And then these 2 bluebirds are nice and chubby. They're all fluffed out for the winter like this guy is. His head is very small compared to his body, so we're just gonna do like a little semicircle for the top of the head, and then a big round belly. In fact, I'm not gonna even show this guy's tail. This guy's kind of snuggled right up, and the tail's coming off the back like that. And the head is right here, kind of more off center. So that one, that looks good, I think. And so our basic bird shape is just kind of depends on which direction you're looking at it. This one is kind of more of an egg shape, if you notice, because he's kind of got the side wing feathers and tail feathers showing. If you're looking at it straight on, he's just kind of a big old circle with another circle sort of overlapping a little bit. And then sometimes you'll see the tail down below, but not this time. I just think it's too close to the tree to be too cluttered. And then let's see. And if he's got his tail sticking up in the back, you know, this way, then he'd be hidden. So we can get away with doing that. And this guy, we're going to do, let's do him with his, he's kind of looking this way. So his head is just a little bit off center, still nice and fluffy. And we might do his tail kind of, let's go ahead and do his tail down. All right, I think that works. Try to keep them about the same size bodies. Okay, that works. Let me clean off my hands here. Grab my angle brush. I'm going to probably only be using 2 or 3 brushes tonight. Well, besides the background brush. I've got an angle brush. This is a 3/8 inch angle, a number 4 round, and a number 2 round, or a small spotter liner kind of brush. Just something small enough to do the beaks and such. So this is going to be our brush to do our branches and our nest. The angle brush. I'm going to grab some of this burnt umber color. Let's spray my paints a little bit. I've just got regular water in a spray bottle that helps keep them moist while I'm working. I get asked questions about keeping their paints moist quite often, and if you live in a very humid or a very dry area like desert, you may want to get one of those stay fresh or stay wet palettes, because it may just be a little bit easier. We're pretty humid in the south here, so we don't have that problem. But okay, so I'm going to use, I've added just a tiny bit of the Unbleached Titanium just kind of on the front end, so you can see it's kind of double loaded there with the light color at the top. And I'm just going to start here. It'll be thicker at the end here where it's closest to the tree, and then as it goes out it'll get thinner. So I'm gonna thin it just a little bit. And I'm not going to really do it underneath the nest because that's going to be covered up, but I do want to have it peeking out. There we go. Mark is just busy typing over there. I don't know what he's doing. But
well, we got a lot of people coming in. We got a couple first-time viewers.
Wonderful.
Katrina in North California.
Oh.
And Dina just joined us. And
Very
we
good.
have
Welcome.
people from London. Marin is with us, and Greece is with us tonight,
Wow.
and several places across the U.S.
I'll be doing a London collaboration with Cinnamon Cooney coming up on Valentine's Day this year. That's February 14th in the U.S. So be sure to watch for that. That should be fun. We're going to do it in the black and white and red colors that we did our Paris collaboration last year.
Is Valentine's Day different across the world?
I think so. I think it's a U.S. maybe.
No,
I don't know.
well, because we did Valentine's Day in Paris.
Well, I know, but I don't know that it... Well, yeah, that's true. We did. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. We'll have to let our audience let us know that. It's a good question.
We did have a question from Luke asking, what are some other things that you can use to trace onto your birds instead of just chalk?
You could use watercolor pencil. I wouldn't use regular pencil because it can show up underneath when you paint over the top of it. But watercolor pencils, pastels work. Just anything that is water soluble or can, be washed away when you paint over it will work just fine. So, okay, let me add a little bit of my unbleached titanium. Make sure that, what do I do with my towel? There it is. Make sure that your branch is dry. I'm just going to lightly kind of dry brush a little bit of color just underneath, sort of in the center of that branch, a little toward the top, just to give it a little bit of highlight color, little dimension. You can totally leave this part out if you don't want to. And then clean that out. And the reason I'm not doing it through the middle here is just because that's such a dark color. It might be hard to cover it with the tree. So, but I want to go in to the tree enough that I make sure that it doesn't have a gap when I do my tree. So grab a little bit of black and my unburnt umber here. Hope you all are enjoying your Christmas season. We are almost ready. We've got a couple more gifts to buy, but I think we're about ready. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to it because our oldest is coming home for a few days. He moved out of town. He deserted us this year.
He grew up.
He moved away. I'm not happy about it.
We never did that to our parents.
I know. I mean, I guess that's what you hope for as a parent, that your kids get old enough and move out, but I don't know. I miss them.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to use this brush and just slide it along its edge here. It'll make these kind of little branch-like things. Just turn it. I'm going to do it nice and dark under here where the Christmas tree is going to sit. And then we'll grab some of the unbleached titanium and mix that with the burnt umber and do some of the lighter colored. I'm just leaving a little gaps so that I can kind of see each individual one if possible. So don't crowd them in too close right at first. You want to leave room to build layers. Here's some just straight burnt umber. I'm going to pull some off, sort of sticking out into space. And in toward the tree. Make sure that you go in. The center of your nest is going to be like jumbled up, and we probably won't see much of it, but if we see any, it'll be down here at the bottom. So down here, there's probably going to be ones that sort of lay in different directions, and then as we get toward the outside edge, it's going to start being much more perfectly kind of circular like this. So we'll do this part first, and then we'll put our tree in on top, and then we can always put some more branches on later if we need to. But these aren't as hard as you think. They're pretty fun.
And you've done tutorials on doing nests.
Yeah, I do have a nest tutorial, so you can see. If you want to put eggs in it, you can watch that and learn how to paint a nest with
That would be
eggs.
interesting, having nests under the tree. Or a nest. Oh my gosh. Eggs under the tree. Not nests.
That would be a new Christmas tradition.
Yeah.
Kind of like Easter,
Well, for the
Christmas
birds.
combined.
But I guess they don't usually lay eggs in the wintertime.
No, they might not do
All
so
right.
well.
I'll just go back to what I do best.
All right, that'll be good enough, I think.
So we had a question asking, what are your favorite brushes? Like, what are your go-to brushes?
My go-to brush is these two, the 3/8 inch angle and the number 4 round. I can get very, very fine lines with the number 4 rounds and thicker ones. So, and I can press it flat and use it kind of like a flat brush. It'll hold its shape, or I can, twist it to a very fine point and get some fine lines with it. And if I need longer lines, I can use the 3/8 inch angle. It works in, tight corners. And then to round it off, I would go with a large flat of some sort, either a 1 inch or a 1/2 inch flat. Those 3 brushes, you can do, most of the paintings, they're pretty adaptable.
So is that why you carry them around in your purse everywhere you go? Just in case?
That is not true.
Oh, okay.
But it's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly. Got to be prepared.
You see what I put up with, people? That's all.
Oh, you should see the look I just got. All right, go back to your art teaching stuff there.
We did decide that after my Monday art chat in Facebook that it's business in the front, which is me, and party in the back, which is Mark. That should be our motto. Kind of a mullet art is kind of, I think that's going to be our.
The mullet chat.
I think so. That's our.
Oh, and what is your favorite brand of brush?
These ones are Robert Simmons Sapphire. They're a little bit soft for heavy body paint, so but I really like them. I also like the Robert Simmons Titanium line. They're a little bit firmer, so these are great for craft paints though, or softer paints. I just tend to water down my heavy body acrylics and use them anyways because I'm just used to using them. But I painted with them for years when I did craft painting and used craft paints with them. So they have a really good resiliency. But there's several other brushes that I like. I like Cotman Winsor Newton. I like Escada Perla. I like the Royal Langnickel Zen. And then I have several of these Princeton 6100 brushes that I really like also. So there's also some Robert Simmons, if you get the Simply Simmons Extra Firm. They're really good. And then Hobby Lobby makes a decent brand that's where is it? If I find one. The Master's Touch White Taklon are pretty decent. And they're probably the cheapest ones that I have. But they work pretty well. So okay, let's start on our bluebirds here. Their heads are a little bit brighter blue than the bodies. So we'll just kind of do a fade from the face down into the body. So we're just going to be using phthalo blue and white for these. I'm going to tone down the phthalo blue just a little bit so it's not so neon blue. And we'll start at the top of the head. Whoop, got some fuzz. Do I need to zoom in maybe? I'll zoom in just a little bit for the birds.
I like how you ask that question and you just go and do it anyways.
Yeah. No comment. Okay, so we're gonna do now right about where the middle of the head is, there's gonna be some whiter color come in, so we'll start to add a little bit of white to that color. And the feathers at the top of the head go straight back from the beak. So if you look at the picture here, they kind of do this pompadour thing where it comes straight up and out, and then below the beak they kind of are very fine little hairs, but then they start, or feathers, but then they start coming down at you, down, and then the rest of them are going to be going straight down in the middle here, and as they go around the sides they kind of angle out a little bit on either side. So I'm just going to start at the face and do kind of an ombre and add more and more white as I go down, and just keep the layers. Work very quickly. Don't worry about any one individual feather. You can always kind of go back and blend them out later, but I've got dark color on my brush here, so it's just working it out there, and I'll pick up a little bit of white and go back over it. And that'll actually help because it'll make it look like there's a little bit of depth there to the feathers. And then by the bottom here, they're almost straight white, so I'm going to get some extra really bright white here and just do the feathers and go right over the top of the branch a little bit with it, so that those feathers look like they're fluffed up over the edge slightly. And then just blending over. I'm not adding any more paint to my brush, so now it's going to blend for me, and I'm just very lightly going to tap in and pull some of that wet paint off and blend it. Adding a little bit more of the bright white. So that's pretty much all we're going to do for those little bluebirds. We're going to keep them really simple. So I might add just a few little lighter white around the face area where the beak is going to go. That'll help kind of when we put in our eyes and our beak. The beak's going to be right in the middle on this guy. Or did I have him pointing? No, he's kind of looking this way just slightly. So, all right, let's do the next one. This guy is going to have, so his face is facing this way. So his hair, or I keep wanting to say hair, feathers are going to grow back from the beak again, back this direction. We're going to let them be kind of fluffy, so and then they kind of start to point down.
They do fluff out when it's very cold.
Yes. Yeah, I've got pictures of it. Well, this one especially, he's got barely no neck. He's just, whoop. He's just all fluff. Mm-hmm. So cute.
Yeah, the ones we had on our feeder too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All puffed out.
Yep. So I'm gonna put his beak right about here. It's about halfway. If you do the circle, if you kind of make a line in the middle where you're gonna do your eyes, the eyes and the beak are, if you look at this picture, they're directly across from each other. So here we go again, straight across. So whatever direction you're going to tilt, but you know, you've got the circle here and it's going to be right about in the middle of the circle, maybe slightly to the bottom of it. So I'm going to do our little...
It kind of looks like he's in some kind of a police lineup there.
You might, I don't know.
He put some numbers across his chest.
He had to get the lights for his tree somehow.
Ah. Thieving.
You never know. I don't know. I'm not saying anything.
Right.
I'm just saying.
There's no witnesses.
Right. But don't know that there's a market for bluebird lights for their trees anywhere.
I'd like to say thanks for everybody who's joining us tonight. I'm glad that you're with us. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Angela's channel, and you can join in the chat. There's a whole bunch of people in there giving advice and helping each other out because they're asking questions that I'm unable to keep up with. Popular one is, what is a good substitute for unbleached titanium and that, and you hit a milestone this week.
We did. We hit 4 million in our overall views so that's since I think 2014 is when we started the channel. I didn't really start doing full-time videos until last year. Took a whole year off, so that's pretty much 3 years of videos. 4 million is pretty amazing. It's incredible. I'm going to add a little bit of dark blue just along that edge where they're touching each other, just to give it a little bit of contrast, and then I'm going to go in with the white on this side and add brighter white on his belly. I'm going to add more white on this guy's too. And you notice I'm just kind of doing these little teeny tiny brush strokes, so don't get too impatient. Just kind of keep working from the top down and overlapping those little brush strokes, and it'll happen. A lot of times paintings look worse before they look better. This one we're kind of blending as we go, so it should look pretty decent, all the way through. We should have pretty good results with it. I'm going to grab a little bit more of that phthalo blue and add a little bit brighter blue right at the top of the head. Blended the same exact color. A little bit brighter right up at the top. And actually, I don't know why I'm working so hard on the top of the head, because this one's going to be covered up completely with the hat. So, oh well. Okay, stop. This one won't, though. So we'll do brighter blue right there. We'll do blue around the sides of this guy. Okay, then this one is kind of like this guy turned to the side. So there's this kind of almost stripe all the way down the middle right here. Whoops, I don't have it on camera, sorry. So you see that the white of the feathers on here really contrasts pretty darkly with this, since we're not seeing it straight on. So we're gonna do this feathers on the back side of him pretty dark. Add a little bit of water. If your paint starts to break up on you like that, just means you need a little bit more water. You can even use like a glazing medium or something like that while you paint. That will help it not dry as fast and give it a little bit more flow. I'm going to smooth that out just a little bit. All right, then I'm going to grab the bright white and do some bright white right along that edge. I'm not cleaning out my brush, so it's going to kind of blend with what I've already got on there and create this kind of fun mottled effect. And I'm going to use it and just streak a little bit of the white in his feathers back here. That's good. That's all we're doing. We're not going to get super detailed with them. Let's move on to this guy. He's going to be pretty much like this guy, only he'll have the little blue tail behind him. So we'll do the tail first, since I've got this dark blue on my brush. A little bit more water. And their tails kind of come to a V shape, I think. Looking at this picture here, it looks like it kind of comes with just a little V. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right there. Do this dark blue at the top of his head, and he's going to be looking to the side again. Well, kind of like this one. So we'll do back from the face and then down. Grab some of the white, blend that in, Start adding some of the white in. Little bitty brush strokes. I would just paint some of this blue in here, and then we'll go over it with the lighter color. That'll give us some contrast to work with. So yeah, for those who are not watching this live and are like, what's the answer to how to mix unbleached titanium? Just realized we didn't actually answer that. You can mix this with yellow oxide and white. It's pretty similar. Maybe add a tiny bit of brown in there, but it's a color that I use quite a lot. So if you're going to be painting along with me, you probably want to get it, because that'll save you from having to mix it every time. Or you can mix up some of it and just save it in a jar to use whenever we're painting. But I like to use it with, well, you know, in this case we're using it with the nest because it was just kind of the natural choice for a lighter color to go with the nest, but and on branches and things. But I also use it when I'm mixing colors if I want a blend that is a little bit on the warmer side. So if I'm wanting a lighter color, but I want it to be a little bit warm in tone, then the unbleached titanium does just a softer white. You can just substitute it for, you know, your blends from when you're blending with, if you would normally grab white, you can blend with the unbleached titanium. That makes sense. So, okay. Oh, he's cute. He's all fluffed out. Let's add a little bit of white streaks in there. Just tiny bit of paint on my brush and just quickly brush over that. It just sort of adds a little bit of a dry brush texture. Add a little bit of the bright white right here. Belly, he's kind of turned a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of pretend like his belly's sort of facing the nest just a little bit. And that's why I did his tail off to this side. He's not quite centered over the head. You kind of can do sort of a line straight from the head to the tail. So in this case, the head would be straight down. In this case, the head's kind of tilted a little bit, and that's why I kind of tilted the tail slightly. If that makes sense. So I will have the traceable for this, though. If you don't want to draw and you don't like to draw, you don't have to. I have a traceable that I post on my Facebook pages and also on Instagram and Pinterest. So you can go there and check it out. Print it out and trace it on with some tracing paper and some graphite paper. Graphite paper is just like almost like carbon paper, if you ever used carbon paper. But it's made for painting. So, all right, there we go. Cute. Super cute. I'm not in love with the tail. I kind of feel like I need to fuss with it a little bit, but here, I'll do a little bit more white. There we go. I think I got it a little too thick is what it is. All right, I'm going to take my wet cloth here and just clean off my chalk from my... Make sure your paint's dry before you do this. And that way I don't have any of these blue lines competing with my design. Okay, cute. If I do say so myself. Cute.
And you did.
Let's grab our black here. Now, if you want to, what you could do is use like a more fluid black and just dot in with the back of your brush. It doesn't work as well with heavy body acrylics, but you can make a circle with the back end of your brush. So if you're doing this with kids, that's probably what I would do. Or, you know, if you're a first-time painter and you're not comfortable with painting a circle, go ahead and do that. I'm going to do this guy right here. Their beaks curve just slightly, so don't over exaggerate it, and at the end it kind of does this little triangle shape where it kind of attaches to the face. So keep it small. Might need to use the liner after all. There we go. Grab a little bit of white, blend it a little bit, and then just highlight the top of that beak. Then I use that gray and just kind of tap a little bit of gray feathers around the beak to set it in. And grab a little bit more black, and remember the eye is going to be straight across from the beak, so don't put it up here. That's the temptation to do it for, you know, because with people our eyes are above our noses, but with little birds, they're not. Put a little highlight in with the white. And actually, I think I want the highlight to be on the other side. I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to let that sit for a second. Okay, for this guy, he's going to be looking a little bit to the side, so it's going to be kind of more like this pose. Of course, it's opposite from what I want, so I'm going to have to figure it out here. So his eyes like right about here, and then his beak comes out like this, and is that right? Yeah. Looks weird. I think I got the eye a little bit low. Maybe not. No, it's just that I'm missing his other eye. That's what it is. I need to put his other eye in on the other side. And make its beak a little bit pointier. There's just a tiny bit of his eye showing on this side. There we go. That looks better. Grab our white, blend it a little bit with the black, and we'll do a little white highlight on the top of the beak. Maybe not that bright. Okay. A few little dots in between where the eyes and the beak match there. I'm going to use a little tiny bit of white to outline the eye. Now, this is with a liner brush, so if you're doing this with kids, leave this part out. You probably don't need it. I'm just doing it to make it a little bit more realistic looking. A little bit of white to circle the eye, and then a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of white highlight. There we go. Cute. They're adorable. All right, let's do, I feel like there's not quite enough contrast with that. I'm probably gonna darken up that blue just slightly. Well, when we get our hats on, it'll make a difference. So I'll leave it for now. Okay, so this guy he's kind of looking up. So we're gonna do him kind of, what are you laughing at?
Oh, we're just watching the number of viewers, and we got to 199.
Ooh,
yeah,
that's great.
And then somebody asked if we broke 200 if I would dance.
Oh, I vote yes on that.
So everybody's got to get out there and
share the video.
Call their family, tell them to get online right now. Call them at work, tell them, take a break, whatever. And I'm sorry for the people in the future if this actually comes to fruition. Don't judge. I was not classically trained.
Okay. Trying to keep his eye about the same size, his beak about the same size. Do you notice every time I'm doing this, I'm doing a little bit of a triangle. It's like a diamond shape here. Even if the bird is facing straight at you, it's pretty much a diamond shape. This one, it's a little bit flatter, more like this, but depending on the angle. Okay, I'm not going to get too much into that.
Okay, what is the brush that you're using right now?
This is a Perla number 2, Escada Perla. It's a little bit thicker than a liner brush, but I could be using a liner brush for this. So there's my liner brush. You can see it's a little bit thinner than the number 2 round. A little bit white on the top. Kind of a gray. Well, this is white, but that's all right. I'm going to use that to outline it a little bit, and then we'll use a tiny bit of white highlight. The way you put the highlight will kind of direct the pupil almost, you know, so that's why I changed this one from the back, because it made him look like he was kind of looking up weird. So it kind of helps them look like they're all kind of looking in towards the tree, which is what we want. Okay, center that. Let's do the tree real quick. And then we'll put on the little stockings. And you could leave this as is, honestly. If you wanted to, you could, you know, continue this branch and do the nest, leave the tree out completely, maybe put an egg in here, I don't know, whatever you wanted to. So there's all kinds of different variations that you could do with this. I think it'd be really pretty. So I'm going to use the phthalo green. I'm going to spray my thing here real quick.
What size is that book that you're painting in?
This one is a 9x12.
9x12, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some people coming, joining us late, so they're just asking some questions.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
And obviously I was listening at the beginning of the show, so I knew all those answers.
I don't think I told what size it was, so you're okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, obviously I was paying attention.
Yeah, like you always do.
Of course. Hey, you got a big following in Canada tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Alberta, Winnipeg.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. They're all watching because they can't go outside. It's probably snowy outside. I just added a little bit of burnt umber to my phthalo green just to kind of tone it down a little bit so it's not quite so Christmassy green. And I'm just going to do, starting at the bottom here, I'm going to kind of do some, trying to decide where I want to end it. I think that that's about right. So it's about halfway. If you kind of split your nest in half, about at the halfway mark, I'm going to do the tree. That'll just make it look like it's setting in there and not teetering on the corner. And I'm going to add a little tiny bit of this unbleached titanium just because it doesn't look like it's covering very well. It's not covering opaquely. There we go. It's a little bit better.
Yeah, I think you're right about it being too cold to go out because Ontario is in here too, and Alaska,
Ooh,
Minnesota.
Nice. Yeah.
So
I'm onto something.
Yeah.
I'm on to you guys. No, we're happy to have you watching anytime. Anytime.
Of course.
No, always. I'm grabbing some black because I just don't feel like it's dark enough.
But we also have South Africa, and it's turning into summer down there. So yeah.
Wow. And Australia. I don't know if the Australians
Australia's here.
Are
Yeah.
they?
British Columbia, Kansas.
Too cool.
All over the place. It's incredible.
It is. It's amazing. Okay, well, this is kind of bright right there on that side. Sorry. Can't see what I'm doing. I think I'll put this other notebook underneath so that it tilts it up a little bit for me. There we go. That's better. All right, so you notice I kind of doing a little bit layers like that. And then I'm going to get some of my, I'll go ahead and use this unbleached titanium, see what it does. Or no, yeah, that's right, unbleached titanium. It's going to make a softer, kind of more, almost like a sage green. clean out my brush. I need a little bit more of the bright phthalo. And a little bit more white, sorry. Let's mix some phthalo green and white. We'll get a nice bright Christmas tree highlight color. And I'm going to grab some straight phthalo and do some streaks with it. Just kind of go straight up at the top there. Just try not to go over my dark areas too much with these lighter colors. And keep that cone shape going. So fanning out at the edges. They're going to come straight down at you in the middle here. And then they'll fan out around the sides. Now that we've put our dark in, we can put some of these lighter colors in and we'll highlight the branches a little bit. So I'm just using phthalo green and white here in differing tones. This bottom edge is going to be kind of curved slightly, so it's a little bit rounded at the bottom where it's sitting in the nest. Cute. Love it. I love painting nests and birds, though. This is kind of one of my favorite go-to things. I've probably painted 150 or more bird nests, and this is one of the things that was sort of my go-to painting thing for quite a while there. I got on a bird nest kick, and then I got on a butterfly kick, and all I did was paint butterflies for several months or a year, I don't know. So I have over 20 or more butterfly paintings and make wallpaper out of them. It's hard to make the wallpaper out of the nest ones, though. They just don't, they're too hard to isolate the layers to make good wallpapers out of. So, but the butterflies do really well in fabrics and stuff. Okay, awesome. Okay, this is like the cutest thing ever. I love this painting. This makes me happy. I'm glad you guys get to see this. I would be doing this anyways, even if you weren't watching. This is too fun. Okay, I'm going to grab some bright unbleached titanium and mix a little bit of white with it. I feel like I need a little bit of brighter highlight right here on my nest coming around this side. Just right here. Just to kind of differentiate it from the branch that was right there. Put a few little really bright highlights along this front side. Oh, a little bit farther down, sorry. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of my burnt umber in black and come in here and just really darken up. Do some dark right up underneath that tree. Just tapping, kind of pulling along that edge a little bit, just so that it looks like it's kind of set in there a little bit darker. All right, now we can get to the fun part. Now we can kind of decorate and do whatever we want to. I'm thinking that we'll do some colors in the Christmas tree, like it's kind of got some red. This is cadmium red. It's getting watery, sorry. Don't want it too drippy. I'm twisting it to a point so I get kind of control on my brush here. I'm just going to put some little dabs. I might need to make sure that that tree is dry first Seems to be picking up a little bit of my wet paint. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the scarves first. I don't want it to blend or lift my green. All right, so I think I'm going to do this guy with a little, like, where's my sketch? Oh, it's right underneath here. With one of these kind of hats that come around his face. So it'll come around the side like this and come up through the back of his head. I'm using a watercolor pencil here. And then we'll do a little fluff ball here and here. And this one's kind of on the other side of his face, so we can't see it. Then this guy's going to get some little ear muffs, maybe. I don't know if I can, yeah, I can do like a half of one there and then do a full one on this side. And then the little thing coming up over the head. Then he'll have a scarf come out over the edge because the scarf is gonna, we'll do like that. A little bit too much right there. Oh, wrong thing. So this is a watercolor pencil. This is a brown watercolor pencil. And we'll do the scarf kind of, so this side's coming this way. And we've got it wrapped up over here and coming back down. There. And then this one is coming over here. Like that. All right, then this guy is going to have kind of a slouchy scarf. So it'll kind of come out and slouch down under his head. He's got one of those infinity scarves that are so popular right now. Maybe it's a girl. It's probably a girl if she's got an infinity scarf. And a little stocking cap. With the little round part here, and it's going to have like a little dome right here with the fluff on the top. Okay. Cute. Stick that back under there. So let's lift it up. Okay, and then I think, let me see, it said gray scarf, red and gray hat. So we'll do, or the audience can vote, I guess, if they want different colors. I was going to do green and reds on this one. So if they have better ideas, they can let me know. I'm going to kind of just do stripes of these gray so that it looks like there's folds. So I've got gray and black both on my brush here. I've kind of mixed it, but I haven't mixed it totally, so there's kind of some streaks, and that way I can kind of get some light and dark colors. And we'll get it right up under his chin there.
So somebody asked if you weren't doing this as a tutorial, would you have traced in the hats and scarf and stuff earlier, or is it you just have to wait till the other paint dries? And...
No, I don't ever really. I like to layer. I don't usually do a complete sketch and paint around things. I just, with acrylics, you can cover over your underlayer so easily. It just takes so much longer if you try to diligently paint around, you know, and fill in little sections. And I wouldn't be able to get these kind of movement, the lines in my bird feathers if I was trying to fill it in and not cover over my scarf, if that makes sense, you know. So it just, I tend to find that it's better to...
My attention span is very short tonight because people are posting colors, and I'm like, why are they all posting colors? Oh, because you asked. So we got yellow, gray and yellow, green, magenta.
Magenta, yep.
Yep, for some different colors for the scarves and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, it took me a little while to figure that out.
You're like, why are they painting?
Yeah, I'm like, did I miss something, obviously? Oh, wait a minute, she asked for colors.
Yes, I did. Okay, I'll put a little bit of... What was I going to do on this one? I was going to do red, so I'll do a little bit of magenta on this one. I'm going to do gray on the top part. So I'm going to kind of do like textured, like it was knit. So I'm just going to do like little dabs. I've got the gray from the scarf, and I'm just going to kind of add a little white over. So it looks like a little knit pattern, maybe. I don't know. Let me come out just a little bit more with it.
So who made these hats and scarves for them?
Well, the elves did, of course.
The elves did. Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe the squirrels. I don't know.
There's a squirrel sweatshop somewhere?
I think there might be.
Uh-oh. They're probably unionized.
I added a little bit of the gray to the Quinacridone Magenta to make this kind of a purpley color, and I'm gonna do little stripies with it. It's a little bit transparent, so it's not one to cover very well. Might have to do 2 coats. I'm gonna add a little bit of the Unbleached Titanium to... Oh, there we go. Cute. And then let's do just little lines, kind of fluffed out for... Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of artists that, going back to that other question about, if I was doing it by myself. I mean, there's a lot of artists that do approach acrylic painting that way, and they do, just carefully paint around sections, and, it just depends on your preference. I don't.
Well, to me, it seems like it's more natural because, when you put your scarf over yourself, so, you want to do the whole body first and then paint over it, just the details.
Oh my gosh, it's so stinking cute.
Is it cute? Or is stinking cute now?
Stinking cute.
Ooh.
It's gone up a notch. Let's give him some little feet before I forget and people mutiny.
Yeah. After that last show, we don't want to forget the feet.
We had some feet folks that were really letting me know when I did not remember the feet. At least I didn't do it, finish the painting, and then that's the nice thing about live shows. So we get people helping keep me on track. So I might sprinkle some snow on this, so don't let me forget that. I'm going to grab some phthalo blue, water it down just a little bit, and I'm going to use it right up underneath the hairline, right here, or the hat line, I should say. I might use my finger to blend it out a little bit. And then right up underneath the scarf. It'll just kind of help set it in and make it look like it's part of the, maybe it's got a shadow or something underneath. I'm going to add it up to the tail just slightly. Okay, there we go. One down. Cute. All right, let's do this guy. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and, while I have this phthalo, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this shadow in. I don't need it on that side, but I'll probably want it around the sides here. This is my finger method, so I highly technical rub.
Hey, if it works.
It works.
There
It
you
works
go.
really
That's all that
well.
matters.
Easy blending. And right up here, right up under his chin there. Or under his hat there. Okay. Wow, we're only at an hour. That's pretty good. We've made good time on this guy. Not bad. For me. Can't seem to finish a live show under an hour, ever. I've done it a couple of times, but it's always the times that I think that I'm going to go short that I don't.
Well, you take time and answer questions as they come along, and
That's
it's
true.
helpful for everybody who's watching.
That's true.
Give them some pointers and advice.
Makes it take a little bit longer sometimes. All right, just adding little red. Still not dry. Okay. I thought it was dry. It's not. All right, so this guy, what do we do for him? I was going to do red, but I might.
Yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Yellow and gray. Or
Gray. I might do red and yellow both. Like a combo. Let me get some of this gray. Add it to the red. There. Go a little bit darker at first, and then we'll put the lighter color on top. So that's why I added a little bit of the gray to it to start with. Fun. I'm having fun. I hope everybody else is, but. All right, I'm adding yellow. I still have a little bit of red in there, so it's kind of, it's not orange, but it's not quite straight yellow. Mixing it with white. White will help your yellow be more opaque, so I always usually add a little bit of white to my yellows when I'm first painting them. And let's just do some little stripes on this scarf. He's like a sports fan, maybe, I don't know. What's yellow and red? It's got to be a college team somewhere with yellow and red.
Probably. USC, maybe? Southern Cal? Or the Washington Redskins,
There you go.
maybe. We're such big sports fans here.
I know.
If it's not the Boston Celtics, it doesn't really matter.
Or the Patriots. You do like the Patriots too.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Or the Miami Dolphins. Well,
There you go.
Which I still don't understand why that was your team since you grew up in New England, but
Do we want to get into this on the art channel?
probably not.
It was because of Dan Marino.
That's right. That's right. The best quarterback of all time. Right?
Yeah, that never won a Super Bowl.
Not that you're bitter or anything.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay. I added a little bit of the unbleached titanium to this red. Here, just make a little softer red. I'm going to go ahead and add some of this in between.
Oh,
And
see
I'm just
now.
tapping.
Now you brought out all the sports fan. They want all the birds to have their team colors
Well,
now.
see, that's the thing. That's what you could do. You could totally
would be
make
cool.
Yeah, it would be fun, wouldn't it?
Do up all the birds in your sports teams.
Yep, sports
the basketball teams
Yep.
and football and basketball and all that. Yeah.
See how doing the dark red beforehand kind of helps give it a little bit of contrast. Whoop. And that way I didn't cover over all of it completely, so there's a little bit of it left peeking through, and I think I'm going to go ahead and use the red and do some little tail things on the scarf, like it's got some little streamer things or whatever. Cute. Okay. And then the earmuffs probably should be that yellow, I would think, just to kind of go along with the theme. We'll probably need some darker color with it, because this one's disappearing. I may have to use the red, actually. Our light background is just too light for the yellow to show up against it there. Just tapping little tiny dots all kind of fluffed up next to each other to make it look like it's fuzzy. Sort of like we did the feathers. And then I'll do the top. I've got my liner brush here. I've thinned down my paint. If you're using a liner brush, you want to thin your paint down. If you don't have a liner brush, you could always use a marker. A water-soluble marker like Sharpie will work. In a pinch, the Sharpies will fade though, so you'll want to varnish it with a UV protected thing, or use a marker like a like a Faber-Castell Pit. They have them in all kinds of different colors, and they're waterproof and light fast. They have pretty good UV protectant, so it won't fade next year on you. Almost done. What did we decide for the last guy? I think I'll go ahead and do the green. No? Yeah? You don't even know.
It does. Yeah, Celtics green and white.
Oh, okay. All right.
Your mom and dad will really like that.
I should have done one in Lakers color.
No, you shouldn't have. We would have just kind of scratched that one out.
Oh, I need to do one in Lakers colors now, just for my dad. I'll do stripes here. We'll do white in between. Ooh, that's okay. Doing these little dabs. It's really easy, but it gives it that sweater knitted look. Kind of no other way to get. So cute. Okay. Do the dark green for the. I need my liner brush here. Nice dark green for the little ties here. You got little balls on the end there. And one at the top there, a little puff ball. I'm going to add a little bit of this darker green along the edges too, just to trim it out. Maybe along the outside of it, just to kind of give it a border. grab a little bit of white and use some white to give it some highlights. Cute. All right, let's do some more on the Christmas tree and then we'll call it good. These birds turned out so cute. I can't stand it. They're so stinking cute. Okay, I'm going to grab some of the darker blue here, phthalo blue. I'm going to add a little bit more of the darker blue to his wings just to kind of darken him up just a little bit there. I feel like he's a little too pale. And let's go ahead and put a little bit at the top of the head there too. Just darken it up slightly. Okay, now we're going to use, let's go ahead and use that color on our tree actually. We'll do some little, we'll just do all the multicolored little balls on the tree. Ornaments. Oh, don't forget the feet. Okay, thank you. Remind me here in a second. I'm going to do these and let them dry. And I'll do the feet and then come back to it. Whoops. I don't know what I was doing there. You could even do like I did when I did the snowman last year. I did one of them decorating with lights. You could put lights in the... I might have to do that with this guy. I don't know. Like he's got a string of lights in his beak. Putting on the tree. We'll get some of this yellow. We'll get this yellow mixture that's in the scarf so it's not... a little bit brighter, but not quite as bright yellow. Whoop. I'm trying to not do them all in a row, so I'm trying to kind of adjust the, so they're not all lined up perfectly. Probably need a different brush for this. This one's not really working very well for me. Okay, that's good. Probably need a little star at the top of the tree too. But I'll have to add some brown so that...
Dag burn it.
What?
We hit 202 people watching. Oh, and thanks, Mark. I see you got my back.
Mark Bergeron?
Yeah, yeah. He was the first one.
Oh my goodness. Okay. This is going to be epic. I'm going to do a little star here at the top of the tree. And adding a little bit of red because it's not wanting to show up. There we go.
Oh, so somebody suggested that you put boots.
Oh, boots.
On their feet. But
oh my goodness. Boots.
Yeah.
Okay. Cuteness overload. Actually, I would do that if they were standing, but I don't think that I could get them to look right on the branch there. Sorry. But that's an awesome idea. I love that. Okay, what other color? So we need some pink Christmas balls. So we'll do some pink. Quinacridone Magenta. I don't think I've been saying my colors very much, sorry, but hopefully you got the idea. That magenta just ties it all together. I think that was what it needed. Because this guy's got it over here, but it wasn't over there at all. And one more up here. Maybe one up the top, top. Okay, let me grab my liner brush. We'll do the feet. So, whoop. Three little lines, just kind of curving a little bit. Their feet actually come in this direction, so this guy's, he probably had one here and one up here.
Yeah,
Oops.
so you can zoom out just a little bit.
Loom out? Uh-huh.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay, there's the whole thing. And then I'm going to do a little bit of black underneath the tree. Just a little bit. And I'm going to use the liner brush with some white. And I really don't want to thin it down too much, so I'm going to keep it fairly thick. But pull my brush to a point if I can with this thick paint on it, globbed on it. And I'm going to do little comma strokes. So for the comma strokes, you're just going to set down your brush and pull to the side a little bit. And I'm going to do them all kind of on the same side. Set it down and kind of pull around just on the inside, so it's creating this little rounded look. If you did it right on the edge, it wouldn't, it'd kind of disappear against the tree. So you kind of need it on the inside of the Christmas ball just a little bit. Little tiny comma strokes. You could even do just a dot to look just as good, I think. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Can't stand it. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of the brighter, really bright pink. We'll just have to say goodbye on camera and you can dance us out, honey. How's that sound?
I don't know if I thought I'd ever hear that. You'll have to dance us out.
I'm going to put some polka dots in this one, scarf here. Just needed a little detail there. Okay. All right. Anything else? I think we're good. Snow. Good. Thank you. Snow. I'm going to use my fan brush. Grab a little bit of white. Take it off to a clean spot and wet it down. You could also use a toothbrush, with a stiff bristled toothbrush. I think I'm going to actually do blue in it. I think that'll show up better against the background and just be kind of pretty. Just a light blue. Get a little bit more white there. There we go. It's just like one shade lighter than white. But it has a little tiny bit of blue to it. We'll see if we like it or not. I don't know. This is a test. It's got to be kind of milky consistency. If it's not thin enough, it won't drip. So I'm going to scrape it off so I don't have too much on there. You can even touch it on my paper towel once just to get off any excess. And then you can cover over anything you don't want to get snow on. So I'm just going to cover over their faces and sprinkle around. So I don't want the snow to get in the eyes and distract from that or make it look like there's two eyeballs happening. So I don't want it not to get on my birds at all, but I don't want it in the eyes. There we go. I'm just tapping. I think I'm going to add a little bit darker blue even. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, that's cute. All right, I think we're good. Got our little winter Christmas tree. If you get too many, you can dab it off with a wet towel. Catch it while it's wet. There we go. little too happy right there with it. Cute. They're fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me click over so you can see Mark's. It's going to be hard because you don't have anything to dance to.
I know. We're just going to have to do it really quickly. Oh, what did you just do? You went red.
Sorry.
I can do running.
There you go.
You can just talk us out while I dance.
Okay, thanks guys so much for watching. We will see you on Saturday, Christmas Eve, for a really quick, short one. And and thanks so much. Have a Merry Christmas. I guess we'll see you before Christmas. So we will see you next time. Bye.